Hi, this is Dana Susan Beasley and welcome to a special edition of my Angel blog. And I am sitting out here in my front yard and I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about growth. And I was pruning my roses yesterday, and every time I prune my roses it reminds me of the process of growth. And so I thought that I would talk to you about it this evening. Beautiful evening right now. In fact, I love to prune roses in the evening. But anyway, as you could see, and I'll just pan the camera this way, I have a pretty healthy rose bush, and I am no gardener by any means. But with some things I noticed about the pruning process is that here are some truths about gardening and roses and about life in general, growth, relationships, business, just incredible lessons we can get from gardening. But growth is a painful process, and there are so many times that dead growth just overtakes, and not only just dead growth, but the weeds and the seeds from other plants. I had to clean out that rose bush yesterday. It was full of, and I'll grab one just to show you, it was full of branches, these, full of them, and I had to yank them all out. And they're still, I mean, you can tell that they're in the roots, but I could only get so far, and they had all grown up together. But the weeds and the blossoms are all together, and that can create chaos, stress. I mean, the leaves can become yellow as a result of that, and they can die. And I had to chop off a lot of black ends that had they were nothing. They had no purpose, and they were sucking the life out of the buds and the roses that remained. So life and business even is so much like that. We have so many things that can overtake us and stress us, and things that will appear good, but they're not. They actually suck the life out of us. And so we just have to learn to let those things go and cut them off, just like I cut that dead branch off there. You know, you could tell because it's all black and it's just not going to go anywhere. And so that's a painful process, and it's not easy to decide, because some things, just like these weeds that grow, sometimes they look so similar to the healthy leaves that grow that you can't tell the difference. But just have to take a risk and break those off and dig them up from the roots if you can. You can't always, and so you just have to do what you can. That's what I had to do with this rose bush. So it has now the chance for life, for growth, because without growth we die. And it's the same with these beautiful rose plants. So I hope that inspires you. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to mention is that it's not perfect. You know, there are things that I find and see even now as I'm sitting here to do again, or to keep plucking away, to keep taking away the dead things. And life is like that, business is like that. It's not perfect, and sometimes we're overwhelmed. But you know how I did this? I finished my whole rose bushes. I just did it one step at a time, one bush at a time, and believe me, the whole yard is quite the project in itself, and it's so overwhelming. And as I started, I just wanted to throw in the towel and just forget it all, but I couldn't. I just said, okay, I have to finish these 5 or 6 rose bushes that I have, and I did it, and I set my mind, and it's finished now. But life is so much like that, and so is business. You just have to decide you're going to do that one thing and get it done, and then move on to the next, because the truth is, actually multitasking doesn't work, and it's not always perfect. You know, as I'm just even doing this video, I'm going, well, I don't look perfect. You know, there's some mascara on my eyes, and I'm tired from not having much sleep, and my hair's not the way I want it to be. But you know, sometimes you just have to do what you can do and go on. And because the hope is that maybe this video will bless someone else and get you to continue going on whatever you need to do, because So often we run from our callings. I know that I do, and then I get paralyzed and I don't do anything, but that just creates stress and unhappiness and depression. But when we go for our callings, it creates life, kind of like this beautiful rose bushes. Can you tell that I really, really, really love roses? I really do. And if this is the only gardening I do, I'm happy with that. So, and the other thing that I wanted to share, that, not only is growth painful, but it's a process and it takes time. But look at the end results. It's beautiful. It is so worth it. So I hope that you today think about growth and how you can achieve that in your life. And it's not perfect. It takes a lot of patience. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, the last thing that I want to mention, that it's painful. I mean, look at these thorns. My arms are scratched from thorns. I mean, you could see probably right there a little scratch. But it can be very painful, and sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes I accidentally chopped off a bud. I didn't mean to, but that happens. But it's worth the risk, because now this rose bush is free to grow, and it has room, and it has margin. And that's the other thing. I keep thinking of things about roses and growth, but we need margin in our lives, and that's what this rose bush needed. So I hope that that inspired you, and just before I leave, I'll pan in on one of the roses. Aren't they beautiful? And I really have not done much to these roses at all. I can't take credit. I am not a gardener. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. Growth and roses is just such a beautiful picture, and I hope that that inspired you to reach new heights in your life today and beyond. Okay, bye-bye now.